applause for Nick Clocku. And keep that applause going for your final act of the night, Mr. Oliver French.
Hello. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you a story. It's about this man, and for a period of his life, he owned and operated the biggest circus in the whole world. And it was magnificent. They travelled all over. They even did a stint in Antarctica, and there are only a few people that can pull an audience there. They made millions. It was phenomenal. They're on the front cover of magazines. I don't know, like Fortune or GQ or something. Nuts. And this man was very comfortable in his success. He was a natural showman, and he loved tailcoats and top hats, extravagant facial hair. And one day he was sitting on the veranda of his large mansion, smoking a pipe, cradling his shotgun, whatever people do on verandas, you know. And he saw in the distance, because being rich he had a very long driveway, as all rich people do, and I don't know about you, but a little bit of smoke, well, not smoke, dust, because there was a wagon coming up the driveway toward him. A wagon drawn by two pearlescent horses. Two magnificent horses, and on the side of this wagon was emblazoned a single symbol. The gold... Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? The gold silhouette of a hammer. Now the cart draws up. The man steps off, the man from the wagon. There are now two men in this story. Steps off of the wagon. And he presents himself to the circus master. And he says, "I'm your new act." And the circus master is a bit confused, because this doesn't happen often. Usually he has security to deal with things like this, but on this occasion, no. And he says, "Well, what is your act?" And the man says, "Well, you're going to love this. I am the Hammer Man." I am the Hammer Man. And the circus master is a little bit confused. He says, "Well, what do you do, oh Hammer Man?" And with no delay, and a little flourish, you know, theatrical types and all that, the Hammer Man opens the back of his wagon and disappears inside. There's a brief pause, and the sound of large pieces of metal being moved around inside. And when he emerges, he is carrying in his hand a 10-pound hammer. He beckons to the circus master. There's no circus master here. He beckons to the imaginary circus master, and the circus master comes down off of the veranda, and he gives him the hammer. The circus master takes the hammer and says, "Well, this is very interesting. I would never have guessed that your act involved hammers. What should I do with this thing?" And the hammer man says, "I would like you to hit me over the head with it." He's met by a somewhat quizzical expression from the somewhat quizzical circus ringmaster. "You realise, don't you," says the ringmaster, "that that would be a crime?" And the guy says, no, it's fine, that's the whole point. Just conk me on the head, and then everyone will applaud. It'll be great, you'll make a lot of money. Not that you need it, of course, but you know, you could do with the prestige. Your sails have been beginning to flag. Anyway, the circus ringmaster, caught up in a mixture of curiosity, greed, and the desire to hurt this irritating, impudent little man, says, okay. And he smashes him in the head. What a wonderful trick, right? Except that the guy goes down like a sack of potatoes with blood pissing everywhere and it's horrible. And he calls an ambulance, and the ambulance comes and takes him away to hospital. And as he's sitting in his living room that evening, the circus ringmaster is beset. He is besieged by the mighty armies of guilt. He is rained upon by typhoons and golden showers of guilt. He cannot stop running over in his mind the events of this afternoon. He can see the hammer swinging through the air in his mind's eye, and he can do nothing to stop it. Nothing. Except turn the television and watch Neighbours, which is what he does. Is that program even on anymore? It is. Is that any good?
Very good.
Everyone watch Neighbours, guys. Especially if you've accidentally put someone in a coma, which is what he'd done. The Hammer Man was in a coma. And not to be coming out of it anytime soon, from the look of the little bit of paper that the doctor sort of put on the end of his... I've never looked at one of those up close, so I don't know what it says, but I assume it says coma. Bad. But he can't really stop thinking about it every day. It eats him away, and one day he goes to the hospital to visit the Hammer Man. He sits by his bed. And as he looks into the Hammer Man's eyes, his closed eyes, he can't tear himself away from this poor, innocent creature that he had so maimed. And he stays for hours, and then days. He eats in the hospital canteen. His clothes start to smell. He sleeps in his chair, and he doesn't leave the side of the Hammer Man. Obviously this begins to affect his career, and bit by bit, the circus that he's supposed to be heading up drifts away. He acts in light of the recent decline of the once greatest circus in the world, to receive better deals elsewhere, and they bugger off, as people are wanted to do. And one day, the circus ringmaster gets a call from his wife. She says, "Hello, Steve. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, but I have been having an affair with the trapeze artist for a long time. The things he can do with a bit of rope. I'm leaving you, Steve. I'm taking the cat. And the car. And the house. And that weird little cravat that you used to wear. That smell brings me back." And so the circus ringmaster is left with nothing, wearing only the clothes on his back and his legs. He never understood that expression either. And all he has left to do with his miserable, sad little remnant of a life is sit by the side of the man he put into a coma because of his own greed. Until one day, many, many moons had passed. Well, it's just the one actually, but it had done it repeatedly. There are many suns, though. Don't let them tell you there aren't. The machine next to the Hammer Man's bed began to beep. frantically. And this he took as a sign, the circus master took as a sign of increased vitality on the part of the circus master. Oh God, he's waking up. He's waking up. He runs down the hallway, and then down some stairs, and then down another hallway, and then through some double doors. I don't know if you've been in a hospital, but they are fucking labyrinths. And eventually he reaches the staff room, where the doctors and the nurses, and the orderlies, and the porters, and the janitors, and the other staff are gathered, like the end of a musical, all in a line. He says, "The Hammerman awakes!" And they followed him in an orderly queue. Or a doctor queue. Back to the Hammerman's room. And as they enter, the Hammerman is standing up from his bed. Bandaged, drained, but very much alive. And he says, "Ta-da!" My name is Oliver French and I'm going to do a song now.